Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Noeline. In this channel, I'll be going through data analysis using tools like Data Studio, Power BI, programming tools like R and Python, SAS. I'm looking to learn Tableau, so I may be able to share my journey on that. Today, I'm going to show you how I've created a live dashboard for COVID-19 cases in Nigeria. So this dashboard updates with every change in data from NCDC, which is the Nigerian Center for Disease Control. They are in charge of coronavirus response in Nigeria, testing, and all that. So I'll be using Google Sheets to collect the data from NCDC, and also I'll be collecting time series data from an open data source, and then Data Studio for visualization. Both of these are Google products, and all you need is a Gmail to be able to access this for free. So I'm going to be showing you how I've collected the data from NCDC using IMPORTHTML. All I need is the URL of where I've seen the data format, which as you can see is a table, and then the third query is an index. So this is if there are 2 or 3 tables in a page, what number or what's the unique identifier of this table I'm particularly interested in. So I'm just going to count. So that's how I identify it, by counting 1, 2, 3, 4 in the order of appearance from left to right, in this case at least. So this is table number 4. Obviously, if it wasn't right, I'll try 1, I'll try 2, I'll try 3, but yeah, I got it the first time. Next, I'll be getting time series data. So a data set of date, confirmed, death, and discharged from open data, which is also called Data Hub. They have a cleaned up version of the John Hopkins data sets in their GitHub page. So I just need to find it and view as raw. View as raw would give me a page that looks like a text file, but this is a CSV, and all I need is to copy the URL, and I'm using the IMPORTDATA script. No other parameter is needed because this is the only table on that page. So this is taking a little bit of time because it's a large data set of all countries for each date, and I'll later on filter out only Nigeria. Next, I'll be collecting reference data, which is data that wouldn't change, from my GitHub page. So this is the data of Nigerian states and longitude, latitude. I've created this from scratch, which is 37 lines in Excel, just by going on Google Maps and copying the longitude, latitude of each state in Nigeria. The midpoint. This is because I couldn't find any open data on this. The one I found was an image, so I decided to create one, and so it can be used for any other thing when you're plotting Nigerian states and you're not looking at local governments or other. So this is just it: country, states, and longitude, latitude value separated by a comma. Next, I'm just making sure I've gone back to the time series data to make sure my date is in the right format: year, month, day, which is what Data Studio likes. And so that's why I'm doing this. And then I would be selecting columns A to H and creating a pivot. In this case, the pivot is mainly to be able to filter out all other countries and have a view of only Nigeria. So I have a fourth So this is my Google Sheet. I have 4 sheets now. One, data from NCDC, one time series data, another one, the longitude latitude data, and a new one, which is just a reflection of the time series data, but only Nigerian data set. I'm selecting, the row would be date, and the values are confirmed, recovered, and deaths, and then filtering for only Nigeria. And this is because I want to create another column called daily cases, just to have an overview of how many cases we see each day. I'm just renaming the columns, and my daily case formula for day 1 would be the number of confirmed cases in that date, which is 0. But for day 2 would be number of confirmed cases in day 2 minus day 1. This is because most countries report accumulative confirmed cases, but if you want to then see confirmed cases each day and how it grows or declines, then this is what. So you could also do this for deaths. So if you want to look at how deaths is actually growing and reducing on a daily basis, this is what you do. So I've moved now to Google Data Studio. Can open getting data from Google Sheets, authorize this, and this will automatically link to the Google Sheets I'm using with this email address. And so I'll select each of the tables I have one after the other. So first is NCDC COVID data, the data I got from the NCDC website, which would refresh whenever, I promise you it would. It refreshes whenever NCDC changes the data set, and it does that automatically. How cool is that? Now I'm getting the Nigerian COVID time series, and next I'll get the longitude latitude data. So just go to add data, Google Sheets, the name, and then the name of the particular table we're looking at. So that's it. Now I'm going to manage added data source to make sure that the columns are of the right data type for each column across the tables. So first I'm changing longitude latitude to longitude latitude. Next I'll be changing states affected to city. I just need to spot city. I just need to spot city. I'm sure it's here, and that's it. That took longer than it should. I'll do this for all 3 tables. So here I'll just be changing nothing, and in the next one I'll be changing states affected to city, and that's it. Now I will be merging 2 data sets. As a data analyst, you would always find you're in a situation where you have 2 tables, none contains all the data you want, and so you have to merge the 2. The only thing you need to be able to merge are unique variables across both data sets that exist in both data sets, and in this case it is state affected. Google Data Studio uses blended data to do this, so blend data, and they have extensive guides on how and when you can use blend data. So my dimension, the key dimension is state affected. I'm going to add the NCDC data because I want to have longitude, latitude with number of deaths, discharged, active cases, and lab confirmed. And this is what I'm doing, selecting all the dimensions that I want. Okay, I just need to select lab confirmed now. Okay, let's try longitude, latitude. Country, just in case I need it somewhere to merge with another data set. So yeah, that's it. It's all selected now. I rename this new table. This is a new table. It's not a data source. It's a blended data. And I'm just calling it clean data. And I'll just then be able to plot a map. I think we all do well with visuals, and map is a good way to see how places perform compared to others. So add a chart geomap. Then I make sure that the data source is a blended data, which is clean data. Change country to longitude, latitude. Change metric to something more suitable, number of deaths. And I need to zoom. So Google Data Studio gives you the opportunity to zoom in to a particular part of the world. So I'm just looking for country, Nigeria, and that's it. But we've all seen the deaths counts. I want to actually show fatality score, which is deaths divided by confirmed cases. This is just a quick overview of how is a state performing. So out of the confirmed cases, how many dies? Obviously, this would penalize states with low confirmed cases. For example, if you have 3 confirmed cases and 1 death, you're 33%. But if you have 100 confirmed cases and 12 deaths, much lower. But again, it also reflects why you need to test to actually get a good overview of what the fatality score is. So I've gone to resource manage data, gone to the NCDC data, clicked on add a new field, and then so I'm using calc fatality score. I always add calc to new variables that I create because it's good to identify the ones that I've originally brought into the data studio and the ones I've created. So now I'm making sure that this calc fatality score is moved over to the blended data that I created by going to again manage resource. This time around blended data. I only have one clean data and I'm moving calc into the dimensions. So now I'm able to swap number of deaths to calc fatality score. And you can see the big bubble moves away from Lagos. And now I'm going to create a diverging scale just to show high score, red, mid, amber, and low, which is 0, which is no death, blue, which is, well, okay, I could make that green, but yeah, let's stick with blue. So now I'm just changing the background color to green. Yeah, green, white, green, Nigeria. This is just one of the down points I'll give Google Data Studio. Their map is not as popping as you want it to be, but it does the job. Now I'm creating a table of states by confirmed, deaths, discharged, active. I'm using again the clean data because I have all I need there, and I'm just pulling over the values I want to show in this table as a metric. Now I'm getting the table configuration incomplete because I have the Data Studio have selected something automatically that I'll show you soon. I just need to change it to a value in the cleaned data, and that error should go away. So yeah, it's sorting by something that is not in the table. So I'm going to sort by number of confirmed cases. If I'm able to select that, yeah, you can just click invalid and then select the value you want. So now I'm going to just clean up this table, make sure that each column is at least as close in proportion as each other so that I don't highlight one. I'm removing row numbers because I don't want to see that. I'm going to say show null as blank because we merged the longitude, latitude with the data from NCDC. We have states which actually have no cases on this table and on the graph, which are the blue dots, which is good because we want to see which states have no COVID-19 cases. Now I'll be changing the color for each column to something more representative. So for example, death should be red. Okay. And I'm showing numbers. I don't just want to see the bar, I want to see the numbers. Again, sometimes we just want to say how many people, how many cases do we have in Lagos and things like that. So I need to clean up the column names, so make it shorter, more visible. If not, I can actually use wrap text in the style tab so that if you have a longer text, it would extend the width of the column headers. So here I'm just changing the name to deaths, discharged. Yeah, so just changing the name so this is easier to read. Just making sure that the dashboard looks good. When you're telling a story, you want it to look as nice as you can make it be. And I often ask for feedback from the expected user of the dashboard. Just, do you like the color coding? So now I'm creating scorecards, so quick highlight of number of cases across in Nigeria. So you can see that what I have there is greater than the actual total because we have a total row which Data Studio doesn't know. It assumes it's a state, so I'm going to say include only the row that contains total, and it's just going to show me that value 362. Actually 343 because Google Data Studio hadn't refreshed, and all I need to do is refresh data, and that's 362. And now I'm just copy paste to create so that it has the same width and length. So that's a good thing to always use. Copy paste a formatted scorecard or a formatted table, and so everything looks the same. And Google Data Studio shows you guidelines to be able to align everything appropriately. So number of deaths, number discharged. Next would be active cases, and so it carries the filter all through. I'm just showing the last row of the NCDC table because they already calculate the total value. And can I say, sometimes I've noticed the total value doesn't add up to the actual state by state data. I don't know why, so that's why I'm actually sticking with the NCDC data instead of the cleaned merged data, because that total value from NCDC is not in the clean merged data, because obviously total wasn't found in the longitude latitude data that I merged with the NCDC data. So my data source here is the NCDC data. So for states affected, I'm reversing the filter to exclude states affected. And this filter is stored on Google Data Studio, and you can use it on other tables, scorecards, maps. So now I got another good thing with Google Data Studio. You can select all scorecards and format them at the same time. So you want everything to have the same formatting. You don't want to do it 4 times. Select everything and format together, or format one the way you want it to look and copy and paste, and then just change the metric. So I want active cases to be bigger because I want you to come in and see how many active cases do we have at the moment. So removing deaths, removing discharged, how many active cases do we have? Just increasing the font. So with the style tab, you can do as much as you want. So again, I'm selecting all, and then I'm using the style tab to put it in the center. Increase the font. Fill it black, and then change the font color to white. You want to see the values. I think that's it. Now I'm just going to do the same for active case. I should have selected it all, but hey. Again, fill white. Now I want it to look, it doesn't look right, does it? So I'm just going to select it all again, center it. Just make it look pleasing. So number of states, I'm just going to change it. Change the column name, the metric name is too long. But yeah, first let me add a header. All reports should have a title. Each page should have a title. It just makes it look better. So here I'm going to say COVID-19 cases in Nigeria. Bolden it, just format it. Just tidying it up a bit, making the dashboard look presentable. Filling it up with gray. And that's it. So I'm going to move the table and the map down. I'm going to move it down so that everything is in one page. It's well contained. So I'm just going to show the states that are affected, and then kind of not hide, but you don't see the other states automatically unless you scroll down. So I'm moving the scorecards down. Yeah, change the name to states affected. Okay, so I want to add the Nigerian cutoff arm. So again, cool about Data Studio, you can grab things using a URL if I can just find it. So Nigerian coat of army, and I want to filter by images that are free to use so that they don't have any license restrictions. I just need to find where it is. I often forget. I'm sure it will be in settings. Okay, advanced search. Okay, and now I'm going to say usage rights. So free to share, free to use or share even commercially. I'm trying to be on the safe side. So here I see all images that are free to use, so I don't have any issue with anybody. I just need to grab the image URL, and that's it. Just looking through it to see which one I prefer. It has subtle differences. So copy in, right click, copy image address, go to image, by URL, bish bash bosh. You have it. So what you can take away from this, I've stored nothing on my local computer. Everything is in the cloud or in the internet, and yeah, just connecting directly. So I will only have issues if the URL for the image changes, if the URL for NCDC data changes. So obviously keep an eye on things and check out if you have any error messages. So I'm going to make these two, the title and the image, report level, which means that any page I create automatically has this. Again, how cool. You can use this for any graph or image that you think is vital and you want it to appear across pages in a report. Just right click, make report level. Now I'm going to draw the popular cumulative graph, what all of us have seen since the COVID-19 cases started. So this is just how has the cases grown over time, and as you can see, it's just a sharp rise in the number of deaths and the number of confirmed cases. So here I'm using the time series data as the data source, date as the date range dimension and the dimension, and then I want to show confirmed and deaths. I'm going to then go to style to kind of neaten it up a bit. So this would be changing the color of death to red because that's what I have in the first page. Again, try to be consistent with your color selection. I'm going to move first the legend to bottom and center it because yeah, looks better. Then change color of death to red. That's it. Now I'm going to create a bar chart. So I've copied, pasted, and I'm going to remove confirmed cases. I just want to show daily cases and remove deaths. I don't want it in a line graph, so I'm going to change it to a bar, which you can do here. But yeah, I think it's too small, so I'm just going to completely change the chart type to a bar. So this looks better for me, and it automatically shows only 10 bars. So I'm going to make 100. I'll make 100. I'm going to sort ascending because I want to see it from the first date, and I'm going to then add a filter, a date range filter, to show from day 1 in Nigeria. which is done by using a filter include date that is greater than or equal to 28th February. Again, the filter in Google Data Studio, quite easy to use. I'm letting it choose the date for me. The title, and it's called the date filter. I can use it wherever else I want. So I'm going to remove the legend, and this is going to legend and selecting the image without a legend because I'm just showing daily cases. I'm going to label the X and Y axis again. Go to style, go to axis. Oh no, I'm selecting the two. I just want to select one. Go to style, and yep, show axis title. Increase the font. So label font size. I think I've just gone past it. Yes. Axis font size. Make it bigger. So the date has also reduced. Just Google Data Studio good. You can just drag to show the labels better. I think I'm almost done. I just need to tidy it up a bit, and then we're done. I'm going to add a title for both charts here. So I'm going to name this copy paste, name this formatted copy paste. Yeah, so increase the font size, center, boldness. Going to fill it. When creating charts, I like sticking with the same color palette, and just from feedback you begin to see what works. For example, I used to put black text on green background, and a lot of people didn't like it, so I stick with white on green. If I have orange background, I use black because white doesn't work. I try to avoid orange backgrounds. So again, changing the bar color to gray, darkish gray, and almost done. So go back to the first page, just make sure everything is right. Make sure everything looks right. Okay, I'm going to apply a filter so that when I click on a bubble, it changes the table on the left, which, because both of them come from the same data, which is clean data. I'm renaming the pages. Good standard, good process to always do, to actually name the pages to reflect the scorecards, the graphs that are on the pages. Firstly, name your report. I always make sure that a page contains similar things or tells a story at least. Okay, I think we're almost done now. I'm just going to tidy up, show it off a bit, and you can go off and create your own dashboard. So you just need a Gmail account to have access to Google Data Studio. Free, easy to share. So I'm just going to add a title to the map. add the title to the map. You see the black doesn't really work well, so I'm going to change it to white. I'm just going to tidy up now. We've done the bulk of the report creation, of the dashboard creation. It's ready to go. So please, any comments, any feedback, I would love to hear that. Let me know the kind of videos you want to see, the kind of tutorials you want to see. I'm planning not to stick with one tool because in my day job I use a range of tools. So I'm just going to add the definition of fatality ratio, because I've self-calculated this just to be clear, and you can do this yourself. It's the number of deaths divided by number of confirmed cases. Then I'm going to add where I've collected the data, my data source. Again, anybody can access this, anybody can recreate this. And when you've done so, share with us. So I'm just copying the website and NCDC URL. And then go to the time series table and copy the URL for the CSV. Yeah, these things could be fiddling. So I'm taking everything and then I'll clean it up here. Removing the import data. Okay. This took us under 40 minutes to create a dashboard that updates live. This can be embedded in websites. Yeah, you can embed Google Data Studio reports in websites. You can share the link. You can make the link available for anyone to view. So here I'm clicking on the bubble in each state, and then I'll see the actual death, confirmed, discharge, and active cases. So I'm applying a filter to the table as well. For example, if you don't know where Lagos is, you can click on it and you see it on the map. So again, I really wanted to be able to hover over a bubble and know the state's name, but I couldn't find a way to do it here on Data Studio. It only shows the metrics that you've used. So I wish there was a tooltip tab where you can add extra information that will be shown on hovering over. So I'm just back on page 2, making sure everything is right. Yes, you can see the first case was in February 28, which is what we see in our daily cases. And I'm showing you how to share, so you can manage access, you can restrict it and share it to just few people. You can say anybody with the link can edit and view, anybody with that can search on the internet and find and view. I normally stick with anybody with the link can view. I'll probably change this later to you can find and view it in the internet, but you can't edit. Thank you.